Greetings to all. Here I am going to discuss the special random process. So what we have seen previously was the random process with statistical parameters like autocorrelation, cross correlation was discussed. In this module, we are going to introduce a special random process called the Markov process. So what is a Markov process? A Markov process is a random process with the Markov property. So what is Markov property then? Markov property is independent of the past states of the random process, and it depends, and the future state depends only on the present state. For example, if the preparation for MA204 depends upon the current preparation and not on the past time preparation. So that is a Markov property. So a random process possessing such a property is called a Markov process. Technically speaking, a Markov process, x of t, that is a random process, is a Markov process if the conditional probability of the random process x at time tn plus 1 subject to the process at times tn minus 1, t naught. This conditional probability is the same as the conditional probability of the random process at the future state, that is tn plus 1, that depends only on the current state tn. It is independent of the past states of time, that is it is independent of the past times of tn minus 1 up to t naught, where these ti's, it is ascending and it's a time instance. x0, x1, xn, they are called the states of the process. What is the value the process capital X at time t naught, what value it takes, that is called the states of the process. Equation 1 is called, this is called the Markov property. So what do we interpret about from this equation 1? That is, if the random process x of t at time tn, it is given, it is in the state xn. Random process capital X at time tn takes value some small xn. Then what happens to the future state of this random process at the next time tn plus 1? It depends only on the present state xn and not on the past states. So this is a Markov property, and the random process possessing this Markov property is called a Markov process. An example of a Markov property, here consider a random variable capital Xn, which denotes the number of heads. Number of heads in tossing a fair coin. At step n. So xn is the random variable, denotes the number of heads in the tossing of a coin at step n. Suppose if at step 20, at n equal to 20, x20 is, I am getting 12 heads, x20. At 20th step of the tossing of a coin, I am having the 12 heads, and xn denotes, it denotes the number of heads at this step. So what will be the, at step 21, what will be the value of this random variable? So at step 21, x21 will either be it will remain the same 12 if a tail occurs, or it will be 13 when a head occurs. And when I consider the conditional probability, here capital X at 21, at step 21 is equal to 13. 13, it is having 13 heads subject to the condition. What happens at the previous step? At the previous 20th step, what is the value it has? It is 12. So here the conditional probability of getting ahead at 21 stage depends upon getting the value at the 20th stage. It is independent of the past states. Say the past states are stage 19, 18 downwards. It is independent of all that. So this is independent of stage 19, 18, etc. This particular example, it has the Markov property, where in the tossing of a coin at stage 21, getting ahead depends upon the stage 20, and it is independent of the past states. So some of the examples of Markov process: a random process with independent increments, the board game like snake and ladder, Monopoly, they are all Markov process. It depends upon the current state, how you progress. It depends upon the current states and not on the past states. Weather prediction models, this is a very particular example of a Markov process where the weather, in the future weather, tomorrow's weather depends upon the state of weather in the current situation and not the past situations. So now what is a Markov chain? A discrete time, discrete state Markov process is called a Markov chain. And here the set of all possible values at the random variable x is called the state space of the process. That is the different values, say x0, x1, x2, xn. They are all the states. What are the values it takes? They are called the states of the process. Next, consider let xn be a Markov chain, and it takes finite or countable values, and we call those values, assign the values non-negative integers 0, 1, 2. Then what, by xn equal to I, we mean that the random process is in state I at time n, or we can say that xn equal to I is the random process is in state I at time n. The conditional probability, that is P xn plus 1 equal to j, is subject to xn equal to I. That is, xn equal to I has occurred, and to find the conditional probability of xn plus 1 equal to j, is this conditional probability is called the one-step transition probability from I to j at the n plus 1th step. That is, from xn has already occurred, that and the value is I. What will be the future state? The future state at n plus 1, time n plus 1, the value is j. This conditional probability from the already occurred state I to j, at what time, what is the stage, at what stage we are discussing this? That is at stage from n to n plus 1. This is called the one-step transition property from I to j And what is the stage? It is at n plus 1th step. And it is denoted as Pij. That is from I to j. What is the probability from state I to state j when the step is from n to n plus 1? This denotes nothing but this Pij is nothing but this one step transition probability. If the one step transition probability is independent of n, that is, what do we mean by saying independent of n? That when the stage, whether it is n or m, it is the probabilities, if the probabilities are the same, Pij at n is also the same as Pij at some m, then we say that it is independent. And the probabilities are stationary transition probabilities. And the Markov chain possessing such a property is called a homogeneous Markov chain. If the transition probability is not independent, then the Markov chain is non-homogeneous. So we are going to, our interest is only homogeneous Markov chain. In this case, we see, remember that the probabilities, though there is a change in the stage, whether it is n or m, probabilities, Pij is nothing but the conditional probability. So this conditional probabilities remain the same. When Markov chain is homogeneous, the one step transition probability is denoted by Pij, one step. So that is, it is, again read it like this, probability from state I, it moves to state j. Since it is homogeneous, we don't have to write what is the stage. Whatever the stage it is, Pij's will remain the same. So we only denote it by Pij. The matrix capital P, which is given by set of all probabilities, this Pi and j, this is called the transition probability matrix, or it is the TPM. And also for a homogeneous Markov chain, the conditional probability xn, probability that xn equal to j, subject to the happening of x naught equal to I. This is called the n step probability, and it is read like this. The probability that the process at the n step takes the stage, takes the state j, subject to the x naught equal to I. What is x naught equal to I? That is, it is in state I at step 0. That has already occurred. So probability when xn equal to j, that is at stage n taking the state j, subject to the process at stage 0 initial, that takes value to state is I. This is called the n step transition probability. And here, since it is n step, that is it occurs at x. Initially it is at state I. Then after n steps it goes to state j. So here the probability is here denoted as Pij whole raised to n. This is called the n step transition probability. This is the next section. Here we are considering, we already studied what is the one step transition probability from I to j, and that is for a Markov chain. Here we are considering a homogeneous Markov chain. So you know that the stage, it is independent of the stage, and hence the definition is analogous to the previous one, except for the fact that here Pij is xn plus probability, conditional probability, xn plus 1 equal to j subject to xn equal to I, where I and j greater than 0, and this is the same for all values of n. Whether you take it as n or you take it as m, it remains the same. Why? Because the Markov process is homogeneous. So we are going to consider only homogeneous Markov chain in this section. So what is the transition probability matrix here? How is it defined? We know that the capital P, that is Pij, is a transition probability matrix. For all values, the probabilities it takes, that is here the initial probability values 0, 0 at 0, 1, 0, 2, etc. it goes. And the conditions on these are called transition probabilities, Pij's. These elements are called transition probabilities, or the elements of capital P. And what is the properties it holds? That is, each row, the row elements adds to be 1. And as you know, they are all probabilities, they are definitely greater than or equal to 0. These are the two conditions which are applied in all problems. So I repeat that in each row, if you add the row elements, it will total to 1. That is the condition. So this is called, this particular matrix obeys these conditions. Suppose if the state space is finite, that is capital S. State space is what is the states a random process takes. If it is finite, say from 1 to m, then what happens to this TPM? It is a matrix, square matrix of order m. And again similarly the property holds. What is that? The sum of these row elements. Each row you take the sum, it will total to be 1. And again the probabilities are greater than 0. If this particular square matrix with these properties, this is called a Markov matrix or a stochastic matrix. Next we are going to see an important property of a Markov matrix. Here consider, say, if P is a Markov matrix, then P raised to n is also a Markov matrix where n is any positive integer. So here consider that let P be the Markov matrix of order m. So that implies that capital P is, you know that it is the matrix of all the probability elements, and this is given as, it's an m by m matrix, square matrix, and where what are the elements? Here P1, 1, P1, 2, etc., P1, m, PM1, PM2, etc., PM, Let, again we will choose V to be a matrix this is a M by 1 matrix. Now we will find out what is PV. So this is Pij into V. What is Pij? It is given by this square matrix P11, P1m, Pm1 up to Pmm into V, M by 1 matrix. So when the matrix multiplication is observed, what happens? You have the first row to be the sum of these elements. What is that? P11 plus P12 etc. P1m. Similarly, the last one is Pm1, Pm2 plus etc. Pm. And you know that since P is a Markov matrix. What is a Markov matrix? The probabilities are greater than 0 and the row elements, the sum of the row elements, it's equal to 1. So you see it is 1, 1, 1, 1. So it narrows down to again the matrix V. The reason is P is a Markov matrix. Therefore, we have PV equal to V itself. PV equal to V. So, continuing in this by let us assume that before that we will prove it for 2. So, continuing in this manner, we will find out what happens to P squared V. What is P squared V? P times PV. What is PV? PV is nothing but, by equation 1, it's nothing but V. But you know it is a, P is a Markov matrix, therefore PV equal to V. Similarly, this proceeding in the same manner, similar manner we get what we will assume that the same result holds for some k. P raised to k V equal to V. By induction hypothesis, what is P? This we will name this as equation 2. Pk plus 1 into V. What is this? P into Pkv. By Pkv by equation 2 is nothing but V. Therefore, it is Pv which is nothing but V. This implies that Pk plus 1 V is also V. So, in this manner we see that we have obtained the result, that is, if P is a Markov matrix, P raised to k is again a Markov matrix. Hence, we conclude that in general, if P is a Markov matrix, then Pn is a Markov matrix, n positive integer. This is an important result which is applicable in the following problems. So this was the problem which we discussed now. That is, if P is a Markov matrix, P raised to n is a Markov matrix for any positive integer n. And so here this was a working. Next is a simple weather model. This is practically a very important application of Markov process. We consider a simple weather model where the weather varies. It is not the same throughout. So here we consider two states. What are the two states? Rainy and sunny. They are the two states. And these two states are represented. Rainy is represented by 0 and the state sunny is represented by 1. And the probabilities of weather conditions given the weather on the preceding day can be represented by a TPM. So this TPM is going to represent the probabilities of the weather conditions under these two states. The states are rainy and sunny. So you can see that states of xn of the present, this is the present state, that is again rainy, sunny. What is this future? Then the next day, say if it is on Monday, this is the present day. What is the weather forecast for Tuesday? So that is the future state, that is also rainy or sunny. And if the TPM, this is the weather probabilities forecast, 0.5, 0.5, 0.1, 0.9. You can see that this is a Markov matrix. You can see it totals to 1. Probabilities are greater than 0. And how do we read this? Here we can see that the 0.5, this comes under 0, 0, red under 0 and 0. What is 0? 0 is if this for weather on Monday is 0. That is 0 is what? It is a rainy day. What happens to the weather on the next day? That is n+1, Tuesday. That is again 0. So what is the probability of if the rainy weather is again followed by a rainy day? What is the probability? It is 0.5. Again 0, 1, that is 0.5. What is it? How do we read it? Rainy weather, rainy day followed by a sunny day. What is that? 0.5. Similarly here 1, 0, that is 0.1. A sunny day followed by a rainy day. And the last one, 0.9, is sunny day followed by a sunny day. So this is how we should read the transition probability matrix. The states are defined 0, 1, 0, 1, and the matrix, the probabilities are given, and this is how we have to read. The matrix P represents a simple weather model in which a rainy day is 50% likely to be followed by another rainy day. Monday is rainy, Tuesday is also rainy, so it is 0, 0. What is 0, 0? 0.5. 0.5 is nothing but 50%. And what is this? 0, 1. It is 0, 0. It is rainy and again rainy. It is 50%. So the rainy day is 50% likely to be followed by another rainy day. That is 50%. That is 0.5. Sunny day is 90% likely to be followed by another sunny day. Monday is sunny, again Tuesday is sunny. What is the probability of getting the next day also to be sunny? What is that? It is 90% chances are there that the following day is also sunny. So what happens the other case? If it is the sunny today and rainy tomorrow, what is the chance? It is just 10% chance. Probability that it is going to rain tomorrow, today being sunny, is only 10%. So So that is the information we gather from this, given the states and the TPM. So here the ijth entry, what is this ijth? These are all denoted by Pij. So what is the ijth entry of the transition matrix? It is denoted by Pij. What does it represent? It represents the probability that if a given day is of type I, it will be followed by a day of type J. And we also know that it is a Markov matrix. You can clearly see that the sum of the row elements is nothing but 1. So this is a very ideal application of our Markov process. Next is the section 2, probability distribution of a Markov chain. Here let Xn be a homogeneous Markov chain, and PIN, these are the notations which you should be familiar with henceforth. Small PIN, that is probability, this is probability, Xn equal to I. That is how it is read. It is that probability when the random process at stage n is state I, that is given as Pi, small PIN. PIN denotes the probability that the process is in state I in the nth step or nth stage. And we also give this Pn. What is Pn? That is at stage n. What are the states? P0, P1, etc. So see, you can see P0, P1, P2. They are all the probabilities at the stage n. So that is denoted as in a vector form. It is given as P of n. And here again the property is that all these probabilities, when you total it, it will be 1. Now again what is Pi0? You know what is Pin. Similarly Pi0 is what? It is the probability X at stage 0 and the state is I. So this is called, it is at stage 0, initial stage. So that is why it is called initial state probabilities. And the vector, again similarly the vector, what is the vector? P at 0. So it will be P0 at 0, P1 at 0. So at the initial state, what are the different states? P0 at 0, P1 at 0, P2 of 0, etc. These are called the initial state probability vector. And also we have, similarly, since you know the initial state probability vector, what will be the probability vector at stage n, P of n, what is it? So similarly, it will be at the stage, the probabilities at stage n with P0 at n, P1 at n, P2 at n, etc. This is called the state probability vector after n steps. After n steps, what is the probability vector and how it is denoted? This is, you should be careful that it is small p of n, which denotes the probabilities at stage n for various states. That's why it is called the probability distribution of the Markov chain. Okay, this is the distribution of the probabilities at stage n. Next is the previous weather problem that I am going to explain again, and you can this highlighting point of this problem is we are going to make use of the TPM and the initial probabilities. The probability distribution of any homogeneous Markov chain is completely determined by the TPM. How the probability is distributed is determined by the TPM as well as the initial probability distribution. We can see in this problem, consider the simple weather case only. This TPM is given, and initially, suppose initially the weather is assumed to be rainy. So in this case, what is that? There are two states, rains and it is sunny. Rainy is denoted by state 0, sunny is denoted by state 1. So I am assuming that the initial state is rainy. So x0 is what? It takes the state 0. Then the probability distribution is given by probability P at 0. That is 1 takes the value 1 and 0. Also remember the sum of these probabilities should be 1. So what happened? What is the weather forecast for day 1? When the initially it is assumed to be rainy. Weather is rainy. What will be the forecast of weather on day 1? So the P of 1 is P of 0 into P. P of 0, that is initial state probability, and TPM, you know it is this. On multiplying we will get this. So what happens here? Then, so this is at state 0, this is at state 1. Rainy, sunny. So what happens on day 1? What is the chance? The day 1 being rainy is 50%. And similarly, if it is going to be sunny, the chances are 50% for it to be rainy or sunny. What about day 2? What will be the weather forecast in day 2? So the weather on day 2 can also be predicted in a similar manner. P of 2 is P of 1, the previous day forecast, into TPM. So this on multiplication we will get this. So again you read it like this, the probabilities on day 2 under the state 0 and 1. Under the state 0, that is, it is sunny, it is 30%, that day 2 will be rainy, sorry, it is 0 and 1, 30% the chances are that the day 2 will be rainy, and there is 70% chance that day 2 will be sunny. So then this proceeding in this manner, we will be able to find the forecast for the nth day, and it is given as P of n equal to probability at n minus 1th day into capital P, that is the TPM. So this is a highlighting equation where it enables us to forecast the future state given the current state. Thus, here in this problem, so what are the two properties which we were using? We were using the TPM as well as the initial state probabilities, P of 0. P of 0 and P are available, then the probability distribution can be calculated for any positive integer n. That is, for any day you will be able to calculate the state of the weather irrespective of the past states. So in this case, so this is what we have been discussing for today's class, the importance of the Markov process and how the initial state probabilities and the transition probability matrix helps in determining the probability distribution of a Markov process. In the coming classes, we will be discussing the application of this Markov process. Thank you.